Welcome back, folks. This is Tommy, Help with Gadgets, and we've got another interesting knife to do a little brief review of. This is the WeKnife Coral, and this knife is on loan to me from this guy here, FredTheLug. Really appreciate him allowing me to take a look at this knife, disassemble and clean it. Now, they've got a disassemble and cleaning video that you can check out and review this knife, so really appreciate that. Now, this knife is designed by GTC, and it's Gustavo T. Cecchini. I probably messed that last name up, but that's the gentleman that designed this knife. He has this design that's called the SLT, and you can see the SLT there as well as GTC there on this tab. So this tab just looks kind of hidden there, but the cool thing about it is you pull it up like this, and that uses it to flip the knife open. It's a variation of a flipper tab, and it's like staging, like a two-stage trigger almost, that you pull up the slack and then it rockets out. So it's that's pretty cool. This version does have the aluminum foil carbon fiber there on both sides, which is really cool. Makes a neat knife. But let's go ahead and get some measurements on this knife. Slide Fred out of the way there, and let's take a look here at the knife. A little bit less than 3 inches on the blade length, and a little bit less than 7 inches on the total overall length of this knife. And we'll pull out a scale here. Tear that out, and let's do a measurement. 4.25 ounces, so not bad. I definitely wouldn't say that this was a heavy knife, but let's go ahead and compare it to some other knives that you may be familiar with. This is the Vosteed Acorn. So blade lengths, well, overall lengths are kind of similar. So there you have that. So this is not a huge knife. This is the QSP Penguin. Again, pretty good comparison there. Let's look also at the Miguron Montreal. It's going to be a little bit bigger, and I think the CGRB Pyrite's going to be as well. Just a tad longer blades on both of those. We'll look at a couple of crossbar locks. One would be the Ozark Trail, and this is the Benchmade 940. The Benchmade 940 is going to be a good bit larger there. And then again, also a couple of more larger knives. This is the Kaiser Militao and the CGRB Feldspar. So there you have those. Now, as far as thickness, this one's kind of on the thick side, I think. There it is against the Militao, so it's thicker than the Militao. It's of course it's going to be thicker than the, but only barely thicker than the Ozark Trail. Here it is against the Vosteed Acorn. Here it is against the Miguron Montreal, which is the Miguron Montreal is about as thick. And of course the CGRB Pyrite, that's going to be a little bit thinner there. Alright, just realized I have another light that I could get turned on. As far as the profile and pocket, it's going to be pretty thick this way. Here it is against the Montreal. There it is against the Acorn and the QSP Penguin. So, you know, it takes up a little room in pocket. Here it is against the Militao. So let's actually look and see what it looks like if we were to pull out a pair of pants here. This one goes in and out of pocket okay, no big deal. There's a little bit stuck up here above the above the edge of the pocket, but not too bad. This one sits against the seam nicely, and it's easy enough to grab that one and extract it from the pocket. Blade steel. This one is, what is this one? This is CPM 20CV, and I think it's actually, yeah, there it is. It's actually written right there where right over where my thumb is. And then it's sort of a black wash on the blade itself. It does have a lanyard hole here, so if that's something that's important for you, just know that that's there. Jimping, the only place, well, there's several places. There's some light jimping. You've got a little bit of light jimping there. You've got a little bit of light jimping there on the scales themselves, and there's some jimping here on the top of the blade itself. But it's cross hatched a little bit on the top of this the SLT, that flipper. Opening methods. That's just that flipper. That's the only opening method, really, unless you want to. Well, and that doesn't even work very well. Well, you could grip it here and open it like that, but that's with this flipper. That's not how you're going to do that. Probably. All right, price on this one is $405 is the MSRP on this one. Let's look at that clip here. They've got a little milling right there on that. Just kind of breaks up the simpleness and plainness of it. I'll show you how that is in pocket, or as far as how it would slip in and out of pocket. So that one works pretty well. I like the milling on this knife. I like a lot of the design of it. Fits well in hand. Thought this one would be a little bit odd at first, but your middle finger fits in there, and then when you grip it, it fits. There's a little bit of a ramp here that you can put your thumb in if you're doing a push cut. Other grips, this one's a little uncomfortable right here because this hits right in this area. So if you're going to be using a knife for a draw cut, you may want to keep that in mind. That one works perfectly fine. Not a problem there. Detent's a little strong on this one, but I don't think that's a bad thing since it's a flipper. Lock up, blade play, no, it's good. But I have disassembled this knife and tuned it, of course, when I reassembled it. Scale material, again, this is titanium, this is titanium, this is titanium, and again, I missed that a while ago. There's some cross hatching there, which looks pretty good, but it's not really going to give you any traction. It's not standing up above that scale very much. So there is that. Of course, it is a frame lock, and there's how it locks up there. If you have it in pocket and you're reaching in to get something else, probably non-metallic, if you're keeping something else in the same pocket as your pocket knife, you don't want it scratched up. But if you're reaching in there to get something else out, it's not a problem. All right. Would I get this knife if I had lots of money, and would this be one that I added to the collection? I don't know. I like a lot about this knife. For example, look how the cutout is here for the lock bar, how it comes around the edge of the knife there, and how this flows from the scale over into this lock bar. I like how the knife, the top of the knife, does that because it fits well in hand. You've got this is not a finger choil here, this is just a sharpening choil. You've got the compound grind here, which is really cool. This is the thicker part of the knife, and then you've got a thinner part of the knife here, and you can see that here on the, actually looking at the knife there, at the blade. I would get this one. I don't dislike this one. That loading preloading the flipper there causes it to have a satisfying action on it. So I think I might would add this one to my collection. So there you have it. This has been a brief review of the WE knife and a GTC designed Coral SLT. Again, that SLT means spring-loaded tab, which spring-loaded tab's pretty cool. All right, hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit the like button if you did enjoy it as well. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the knife. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see y'all again soon, and thank you so much for watching.